conspiratard schizo thing, it's getting a little out of control. And that's coming from me, you dummy, you irresponsible, grifting dummy. I've so had it with that. And at the end of the day, she's just stupid and defines low IQ anti-Semitism. I used to think it didn't exist. Now I'm convinced it's real. And it has a name. That name is Candace Owens Farmer. Low IQ anti-Semitism. If you have any integrity at all, or if you care at all about your journalistic credibility, you have to release the information.
Grace and peace, everybody. We're back. I don't know what world we're currently living in, because the world that we're currently living in has me pretty much agreeing with everything that Nick Fuentes is about to say. I did a video a couple weeks back where Candace invited Nick Fuentes onto her podcast, and she basically tried to belittle the guy and really try to get a lot of hot takes, and it didn't go well. Nick demonstrated a lot of composure, maturity, very clear in his thoughts, and he made Candace look really bad. Well, he's about to address the elephant in the room. We all have conspiracy fatigue. Candace just keeps coming up with new conspiracies every single day, and we're kind of getting tired of it. Well, Nick has had enough of it, so I'm going to bring him in, and I'm just going to let him talk. Let's go, Nick.
Time to wake up, guys. Some of this, I'll be the first one to say, the conspiratard schizo thing, it's getting a little out of control.
He's right, you know.
I mean, it's like we are truly through the looking glass. When Charlie Kirk is assassinated, people blame Israel. I, who fought Charlie Kirk because he was pro-Israel, am being said to, I'm being said to be covering up,
right,
that he was killed for this miraculous conversion.
I beg your pardon?
If Ben Shapiro was taken out next, and God forbid, would Israel be behind that too? I mean, that would be equally ridiculous. If it was Ben Shapiro on Wednesday, people would be saying, Israel did it. Shapiro was about to become a National Socialist. Like, what?
That's suspicious.
It's crazy. The people who want us to believe there's a conspiracy have an audience of hundreds of thousands every day. So much so, it's creating problems for the U.S. government, for Turning Point USA, such that they have to address it.
That's crazy.
But you're not using that platform to get people to demand answers from the people that have them? That's suspicious.
You don't find that suspicious?
Something very weird about all of that. I trust me. I don't trust these other people. I don't trust these people that tried to ambush me and call me a Jew hater over the summer. I don't trust these people that tried to ambush me and call me a Fed over the summer. And now all these people want us to believe there was some Israeli plot here. I don't know that I trust the source on that one, because something's not right there. It's like there's an allergy from Candace and Tucker to talk about Trump and Vance. Have you noticed that? Am I the only one thinking this? If Charlie Kirk was killed by a conspiracy, and if he was, I'd be very interested to know. If you're serious, if anyone seriously believes that Charlie Kirk was killed in a conspiracy, do you know how significant that would be? That Israel murdered a U.S. citizen on American soil so brazenly like that? It would be that's an act of war. That would be an act of war. Things could never be the same after that. And if you believe that that is the case, then you must be calling on Trump and Vance to bring it to light. Because if they're not, then that means they're complicit in covering it up.
Right.
And if they're covering it up, then that means they are betraying America on the deepest level on behalf of Israel. So I'm sitting here wondering, all these people that are talking about this conspiracy, the people that are pushing it, they seem allergic to holding the appropriate personnel accountable.
Right. There you go.
If there's a conspiracy, then there's two names we need to hear, and that's Trump and Vance. Trump and Vance. Where are the answers? Where's the information? Why are you covering it up? Charlie Kirk was Trump and Vance's friend. He was their cheerleader. He was their political ally. He was critically important to their operation. If he was murdered by a foreign state, then the U.S. government needs to be all over that. And they need to tell us, and they need to take appropriate action. But I'm not hearing that.
He's right, you know.
All she did for the past week was gaslight the public. And by definition, that's what it is. Gaslight her audience, gaslight the public. Netanyahu lied. They shot him in the throat because they're taking his voice. I have all these receipts, but I'm not going to publish them. And then literally a week later, she's going to put on Twitter, oh, I never said they were behind it. I never said that at all. I just strongly implied it. We all know what you said. We all know what you meant.
Embarrassing. Carlos decline.
You dummy. You irresponsible, grifting dummy. I've so had it with that. And at the end of the day, she's just stupid and defines low IQ anti-Semitism. I used to think it didn't exist. I used to think that low IQ anti-Semitism is just something that Jewish people would say to counter the rising tide of people acknowledging Jewish power. Now I'm convinced it's real. And it has a name. That name is Candace Owens Farmer. Low IQ anti-Semitism. The idea that Charlie Kirk was silenced for being about to go against Israel, it's just on its face absurd and ridiculous. And so anyway, all those people that said, oh, Nick got the call, Nick's really afraid right now. Believe you me, when we get back to our regularly scheduled programming next week, when we have processed everything having to do with this horrific assassination, rest assured we will be talking about the Middle East conflict. I have not changed my views even slightly, not even in a minute way, not at all. The idea that Israel's number one cheerleader on the right wing was somehow killed by Israel, sorry, not buying it. And the people promulgating that idea, they're not even saying that. Tucker's not saying that. Candace isn't saying that. They're just weirdly implying it. And I wonder why that is.
Why?
Releasing no evidence. And I would reiterate, this is the last thing I'll say before we move on. You know, Candace Owens made a very specific claim. She said that Charlie Kirk sent a letter to Netanyahu, and she said that Netanyahu held up that letter when he eulogized Charlie Kirk in the news the day of. She said, and he mischaracterized the contents of the letter. She said, and if he keeps doing that, I'll reveal the letter. You need to reveal the letter. Show us what you have. Once again, if you have any integrity at all, or if you care at all about your journalistic credibility, you have to release the information. Do not hide. Do not backpedal. Do not gaslight. Now that you got called on your bullshit, dummy, now that you got called on your nonsense, show us what you have. Not behind a paywall, not next week on Becoming Brigitte, not next on our next season. No cliffhangers, please. No grifting. Well, subscribe and then you gain it. No. You need to put out the letter. Where is the letter? Where is the letter that Charlie Kirk sent to Netanyahu that you say Netanyahu mischaracterized? Show us the letter. Scan it, put it on Twitter immediately. Otherwise, you're a joke. Otherwise, you are just as bad as the lying Jewish media, because that's the kind of shit that the Jewish media pulls. It's no different.
Everyone loves the clown. Everyone loves those blanket shows. Right side up or upside down.
You don't find that suspicious?
We find it suspicious for sure. Shout out to Nick. You know what? I agree with Nick 100%. I think Candace should give up all of her evidence. Give it all. Put it all out there. Don't hold back. No, again, no paywalls, no memberships. Just put it all out there and let us all see it. And then force everybody else's hand. But I did think it was interesting that she said that Netanyahu mischaracterized that letter. How did you see the letter? How do you know what he said? Like, what's going on? I think that, and if not, if she doesn't do that, her audience needs to hold her accountable for that, because she did, in fact, say that. Because there's just one more thing I want you to remember.
But I don't like little lies. When there is one lie, there's 20.
All right, everybody, get into that comment section. Let's talk about it. What do you think about what Nick said? Do you agree? Do you want Candace to give us the papers? Give us the documents. The names must be named, Candace. Let's go. Let me know down in the comments. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for rocking with us. Until next time, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the J-Whip Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment, because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.